Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tim with Freightmaster Resources, and in today's video, we are going to talk about relationships. Um, the key to being a really successful broker or broker agent, really, or even can be as a carrier, is building really good relationships. Excuse me. Guys, I I actually meant to do this video last Monday, but I ended up kind of losing my voice about 11:30 in the morning. Kind of really offset my day, and I still have a little bit of a sore throat, so bear with me. We'll get through this, okay? Before we dive into it, if you guys could hit that subscribe button for me, hit that bell notification so you get notified when I do these videos. I greatly appreciate you guys doing that, and I appreciate all of you that follow me. So, talking about building relationships, whether you're a broker or a carrier, okay. This is something that I've mentioned in the past, and those that I do some consulting work for, is one of the things I kind of stress is, building good relationships. I think a lot of people get too, at least from the broker side of things, I think that we tend to get a little bit too focused on building our shipper relationships, and forget about our carrier relationships. Why? And I think it's probably because, we have load boards. We've got DAT, Truck Stop, etc. There's multiple ones out there. And so, we have those, for us to work on, covering lanes. But ultimately, if you have a customer, especially one that ships even somewhat consistently, let's just say out of Houston going to Denver or something, and it might only be, once or twice a week, but, if you connect with a carrier maybe based out of the Denver area or something, to run those consistently, number one, you spend less time on the load boards, right? Negotiating, and running through all of that. But number two, that you've got that load automatically covered, right? Your carrier is not hunting and pecking for a load on the load board, and you guys know, or you should know, or will end up knowing that there's an ebb and a flow to the market, right? So like 2018 was a phenomenal year for the freight market. 2019, 2020, kind of marginal. Overall, at least for carriers, I think, for a majority of carriers, there just maybe wasn't a tremendous amount of freight out there in relationship to the amount of capacity that was out there. We dealt with COVID, still dealing with COVID to an extent. But those relationships really will come in handy. Again, whether you're on the carrier side or the broker side, it doesn't really matter. And so when market rates are up, as a broker, those carrier relationships that you have are going to help you out, when we're under a tight capacity. And then likewise, when the market is down, for you carriers, having a good relationship with your broker is going to help you out, right? Because there's some shippers out there that, they pay the same regardless of what the market does. Some shippers are just really cheap, and things like this. But this is maybe a topic for another video. But this is where, as a broker or broker agent, you're going to identify, your shippers, according to the consistency and how they pay and everything, because you obviously it's going to be hard to build good carrier relationships if you have a very cheap shipper. It can be hard, to work with a shipper regardless of what the market's doing if they're cheap. And some are, and some aren't. And this is there again why I've kind of stressed that not every shipper is equal, right? And some have, they work with 30 other brokers just to move their freight and things. They don't really value relationships. They're just trying to get it moved at the cheapest price. And, early on, I know when I first started, I had some of those shippers, and you were beating your head against the wall forever trying to move their freight. It doesn't work out. But if you have a reasonable shipper, like I said, with somewhat consistent freight, regardless, like I said, carrier, broker, now right now the market's up, right? So the question that I would pose to you carriers out there is that when the market's up, do you still value your relationships with brokers? Because like I just mentioned a moment ago, there's an ebb and a flow to everything. So eventually the market will come down. And when that happens, it would behoove you to have some strong broker relationships, right? And, maybe be a little bit more forgiving on some of the rates, I'm not saying lose money or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But when you know that you can cover a lane for, let's just say the lane is $2,800. The market spikes, now it's $3,500. But you have a broker that's willing to build a relationship with you at $3,300. You see where I'm going with that? And then likewise, brokers, when the market's down, it can be easy to take advantage of carriers, when rates are low, and everything. But there again, you should be valuing your carrier relationships, because eventually it'll turn around. So just something to kind of keep in mind for any of you carriers or brokers that are new out there. And then there again, having a consistent lane, whether you're a broker or a carrier, to run, whether it's once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, depending upon, obviously whether it's a long haul or a short run, can be very valuable, versus playing the spot market. And I truly believe that those carriers and those brokers that have good, strong relationships with each other are the ones that benefit, right? Those are the ones that withstand the tough times, regardless of what the market's doing, because you're consistent. So tell me what you think. Drop a comment down below, guys, on what I've said. And carriers, I'd love to hear, your feedback on some of this. Brokers, you as well. So, excuse me, I can start to feel my voice starting to give out on me again, guys. So I'm going to kind of bust through this a little bit. So for those of you that maybe aren't already aware, or you're new to the channel, we have a couple of websites out there with some resources for y'all. There's Freight Broker Resources. Obviously, if you're looking for, cold calling, kind of a sales pitch sort of a thing, kind of help get you started, there's an example there. If you're considering being a freight broker, and you need training, we've got that there as well. You know, there's a lot of things on, you know, your business structure, filing for your authority, getting your bond, insurance, load boards. If you need to factor, we've got factoring for new startup brokers, right, through Axle. Really great company. Fill out the contact form. We'll put you in touch with Kevin. Really great guy over there. And you carriers, you truck drivers, I love y'all. If you guys need anything, you know, we've got the Load Stop TMS. This is great for dispatchers, fleet owners, you really, you know, any of you carriers. If you're new, looking for factoring core fund, they will take you on. You can read a little bit about them there on the website. We'll put you in touch. If you're looking for a school, we literally have a list of schools in every single state. Doesn't matter. Say you're in the Missouri area, you know, there's schools right there. Hazelwood, St. Peter's, West Plains, Maiden, Stafford, Kansas City, you know, and then on to Alabama. There's a whole bunch there in Alabama. So a lot of things there for you know, you drivers and that as well. There's some healthy tips, you know, help keep you guys healthy, keep you living a little bit longer. You know, there's information on insurance if you're looking for insurance. Oh, we've got a broken image on there. You know, feel free to check it out. And then, like always, we've got news on, you know, there's a news feed that comes into the website on both ends, whether you're a broker or a carrier. We've got that over here too. Same news feed. So check it out, guys. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody following the channel. I'm sorry I've been away for a little while. I've just been kind of super busy with things right now. One of my customers, they, in the product that they ship, they are the second largest in the U.S., sixth in the world. So that has really had me hopping. There for a while, I was pretty much running from like 5 in the morning till 1 in the morning the following night, just getting everything done. But we're starting to get everything kind of leveled out here a little bit now. I don't have to spend quite so much time. So, but yeah, check it out. There again, I appreciate everybody watching the channel. I'm sorry I maybe cut this a little bit short. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, guys. And I've got links for everything in the description there. So with that, I thank everybody for watching once again. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I really appreciate that. Does a lot of good. And we'll talk to you soon. I'll try not to be gone quite so long next time. Okay. God willing, my voice doesn't give out on me again. So, all right. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.